darlings, how are you doing today? Welcome. How are you? I hope you're doing good. I know it's very sunny and that makes me super happy. Yesterday it was windy. I tried to celebrate my sister's birthday, keeping social distancing, and we were outside and the wind was blowing and I was like, oh my God, why do we live here? If anyone doesn't know, I am from Alberta, Canada, Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. And we have had probably like a cajillion months of winter. So we are all ready for spring. But what I'm pumped about is it's sunny and I can see the snow melting a little bit. And to me, that is just makes my day way better. So thank you for joining me. I hope you are staying safe, staying quarantined, following the rules so that this can end sooner. I know for me, I'm doing more walks. I think I told you about that a couple of videos ago. I enjoy walking. I'm doing a bit more walks now just because it keeps me happy. I love to be outside and it just maybe makes me feel like we're not cooped up a little bit, but always practicing safe social distancing, but maybe going for a walk would make you feel so better. Maybe you need a toque. I had a toque and a hoodie yesterday, so it's pretty cold out there, but just get outside and enjoy the weather. Makes a huge difference. Just enjoy the sun. I know I went for a morning walk for about a good hour and I just feeling the sun on my face. It was amazing. Like you just kind of feel a bit more gratitude and a bit happier in your day. So try it out. Give it a whirl. So I'm going to remind you of the project materials we're going to need today. So I would say a tray, and I put white paint. Remember, we're going to use white paint today. So a tray of white paint, paintbrush, water, and black paint, and maybe like a napkin for your paintbrush. So run along and we'll see you in 2 minutes. So one thing I want to share with you is as an artist, we have to be pretty inventive as far as how we get our work out there, how we maybe try to sell our work. You know, being an artist, you have to be inventive. So one thing I'm working on, which might be pretty exciting, well, it's exciting for me, because I had two big art shows, actually, and then it's going on 3 because this is getting extended longer than we had anticipated, the quarantine. I had 3 shows basically get canceled. So as you probably heard in the news, a lot of artists are doing online music, online concerts, people just sharing their art online. I think technology is awesome. But one way I am going to actually still do my art shows without it actually being in real life is I'm creating a virtual art gallery. So I'm going to basically have an app that you can look at and walk through my art show, and you can like actually like walk through, not walk through, but like walk through with your eyes through this virtual gallery, and it's actually pretty awesome. So that's in the works for my art shows. I'll definitely let you guys all know about it. It's like in the works, so give me time. But I'm pretty darn excited because, again, it's just making me learn a bit more about how I can get my art out into the world, but yet still stay safe and still follow the rules of our leaders to end this self-isolation. There you go. Off my soapbox now. So welcome back. We're going to get started. So I hope you all grabbed your materials. If not, you can watch through and follow along after. So I told you black paint. Oh, and I forgot to mention either the canvas or a board or something. So I have this board. And I painted it black. So that's the first step. And so I did it ahead of time because I needed it to dry to show you the next step. So paint your surface black, let it dry really well. Maybe overnight or maybe a couple hours. Use a blow dryer on top of it. Just don't blow paint all over your house or you'll get in trouble. So here's my black panel, and then what I did was I put in my, you know me, again, cheap Ukrainian artist lady, I have this plastic tray, and you want to know what I ate in it? So this will be part of the show. It's like, what did Lorraine eat in this plastic tray? Well, today, so this was a lid from a Wendy's salad. You see Wendy's? So I'm like notoriously saving all my trays because, you know, like I'm like, again, cheap Ukrainian artist lady. I have a closet full of these plastic things. And so what I did was I put a little paint in it. Well, first I washed it and I put it away. Now I'm using it. I think, what kind of salad was it? Oh, it was a side salad with ranch. It was okay. They put like big tasteless tomatoes in it, but I ate them anyway. Anyway, if you go to Wendy's, side salad's okay. Give it a whirl. Save the tray, and now you can use it. So I put a bit of white paint on the top, in the top of my tray. Now what we're gonna do, now I'm going to use just a tiny little brush here. So you see this little guy? Ooh, he's small. Can you see him? He's small. So what I do is I'm gonna get some water. You can't really see, but I get some water, and I'm gonna take a little pool of water in the corner of this tray here, like so. And I'm gonna add some paint to it. Now what we wanna do is basically have different levels of paint concentration in our little corners of our palette. And if you wanted a separate tray for these little corners, that works too. But I'm just showing you the demo here. So what we want is like maybe 80% concentrate, 60% concentrate, 50, all with different levels of paint versus water. So once we get that going, I'm going to show you. So this will be over here, maybe 90%. So that means 90% paint versus 80% water. Down here is 50-50. Over here is maybe like 70-30. Ooh, I'm doing math. I'm doing math, and it's okay. So it's 90, 70, and then maybe 50-50 over here, and then maybe really light. So we'll do like 20% paint versus water. So we just want different levels because that gives us our gradients of basically color. I know it's just white, but our gradients of shadow and shape. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my super thin one, the 80 water versus paint, and this is where you can either decide if you want to do like a drawing on top, so you can still see pencil on top of black. So I'm gonna draw an eye. As you know, here's my eye. Here we go. So you can see on top of that, right? And if you feel more comfortable just planning out again, go for it. If you just want to wing it, that is okay too. So I'm going to use my high water concentration. I'm just going to map out my areas I want here. And as you can see, isn't that cool? So even though we only have 20% water paint versus water, you can still see that pretty darn awesome. So then over here, so because what we're doing is actually we're painting in reverse, which is actually not the easiest thing to do, but it's a lot of fun. So if you want to do, so instead of having like a black pupil, you can have like a white pupil. Keep that little highlight in there, even though it's black. You see what's happening? And then I'm going to go back to my 100% white here. So this is 100% white. And look at the cool thing that's happening. So I'm actually using my white in reverse. So we're basically painting in reverse, which is not easy. All right. So if you are messing up, don't worry. You have to switch your brain a little bit. So then what I want to do is take my super thin one. So I'm actually going to do a 10% paint versus 80% or 90% water. And it's really loose. And I'm just going to do a wash over top for my skin here. You can see that. So it's super duper light, but it is effective. Once it dries, ooh, this is gonna look good. So you get the idea, and if you once it dries, and if you think, okay, I could use a bit more light there, or a bit more white, just go back in and add it, because again, we're working in reverse, right? So instead of putting color on a white surface, we're taking color out, and we're not even using color, we're using white, so it's even weirder. But it's pretty darn cool, the effect. Okay, so that's what we're doing today. I hope you learned something. As usual, I have a demo to show you that actually spent longer than 5 minutes. Okay, so here we go. This one I did flowers. So I'm gonna go real close so you can see. So here I started with like a maybe a 20% paint versus water. And then I layered it up. So really, the key here would be to start with your thinner paint concentration, like the more water, concentration, and then layer it up because you can always go in and add. Just like the watercolor a couple videos ago, watercolor you can never take away. You can always add. So I highly recommend working small and building up. You can see that there. So pretty cool. I had a lot of fun. I just painted my edges too. That finishes it off. And this was just a canvas. But you could do this on, you know, an old cereal box or an old box lid. Anything you find around the house. And really you just need black paint and white paint. That's it. And a little paintbrush so you have some control. But you can see I could really go to, once this dries, I could really go to town and have a lot of fun with just minimal supplies, which I love to do for you. So I hope you had fun. Thank you so much for joining me for Thursday. For tomorrow, mañana, I have our list here. I'm going to keep it simple so you guys don't have to run around and get supplies. We're going to use a pencil, Sharpie, or a felt marker, whatever you have, and paper. That's tomorrow. Awesome blossom. So I hope you had fun. Before you go, I have something fun to share with you, like usual. So again, being an artist, I was talking about how you have to be inventive with sharing your art with others. And one thing I love to do is think of new ways to show my work, just because I like sharing my work. And you know what? So here is some buttons. Some of you who have taken my classes know I have buttons on my apron. I put these on, and they're a lot of fun because it's a lot of time it's a huge painting shrunk into a little button format. You see that there? So we got the crow, we got the butterfly, of course me puppies. We got me puppies there. And then here we have my lady, and of course my bird, the seeker, and another lady, persistence. And funny story, so these, I used to do really small ones too, but these are a bit bigger. Funny story is actually, my mom helps me package these, so she sits there and watches her soap operas and helps me package my buttons. So it's definitely a family affair. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me. I am so thrilled that you are coming and subscribing. Thank you so much. That means the world to me. And stay safe out there. I love you all. Thank you. Have a good night. Bye.